Yesterday, the Toronto Maple Leafs made the biggest signing of the offseason. We'll take a deep dive into this contract and discuss why it's a bigger steal than some people may think. So make sure to stick around to this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into that, we just wanted to say that 97% of you guys aren't subscribed. So make sure to go down below and smash that subscribe button if you're looking for a place for daily NHL and daily Leafs content. So with that out of the way, let's get right into the topic of this video, which is the Matthews contract explained. And if you missed it, Auston Matthews was extended yesterday to 4 more years in Toronto, worth $13.25 AAV. If you're looking for our initial reactions to that trade, make sure to go check out yesterday's video. But the biggest thing coming out today is the bonus numbers. From Chris Johnston here on Twitter, he says, the Auston Matthews extension will be paid almost entirely in signing bonuses, with nearly $50 million of the $53 million contract coming that way. That includes a $15.925 million bonus payment when the contract officially kicks in next July. And Mark, obviously, this is a big number. I can't even imagine getting $15 million in my bank account in one day. But obviously, he deserves it. I know NHL players are underpaid compared to other sports. And I think it's great that they can just get their extra money in endorsements and in bonuses, for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. The biggest thing with this, like when you first initially see like $15 million paid just on July 1st, when you look at a team like the Toronto Maple Leafs, you know, they have the money to do things like this. And it almost benefits both teams in a way. Like, you know, you look at it where Auston Matthews is getting this huge bonus right into his bank account. And the Leafs get this leverage where when you look at his actual salary for the 3-4 years that's leading into the last year of this new extension, he's only getting paid between $750,000 and $900,000 of actual salary. So God forbid it ever gets to the situation, but in your final year, you trade Auston Matthews after July 1st. The team that takes on this contract is only actually paying $900,000. So when you look at these teams like Arizona, it used to be Ottawa, where they like hitting the cap floor, but they don't like spending the actual money. This is the kind of contract that is so tradable in this league, where the team only dishes out $900,000. They get so much jersey sales and revenue out of Auston Matthews, and the Leafs take on this big paycheck of $15 million on the last July of his final deal. So if it gets to the situation where, you know, 4 or 5 years down the road, you have to trade him, which I hope they don't ever have to get into the situation, this makes it one of the most easily traded contracts in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know, that's way down the road. We don't know what's going to happen that far down the road, but I'm sure he's going to play out his contract in Toronto. I'm almost 100% sure of it. I'm sure he just wants to win. He wants to be in Toronto, especially with all these guys that he's come up with playing his whole career. So let's see what happens there. But if you're wondering, like, these $50 million bonuses don't go towards the team cap at all, so you don't have to worry about that too much. It's not an extra $50 million plus the $13 million going against the cap. It's just the 13.2 against the cap. And we're going to take a look here at Matthews' percentages here. Obviously, he has 100% WAR. He's 100% finishing, which is probably the best in the NHL, or he's probably tied with the best in the NHL. Obviously, great on the power play with 88 power play percentage. It doesn't take very many penalties, and even with a 90% assist per 60 is pretty big for such a dominant goal scorer. Just looking at this, Mark, like, what are your initial thoughts about these percentages that were put out?
Like I said the other day, I think he's a top 3 player in the league. I know a lot of people are going to hate me in the comments once again for saying this, but you know, you look at like these top guys, he's a top 3 center. If you want to say top 5 player, that's fine too, but he's the best goal scorer in the league, in my opinion. You know, his defense has been stepping up. He plays against the highest competition. He really, you know, each year you can kind of see him progress in different ways where his defense gets a little better. He starts laying a couple more hits and stuff. And just with Jay Fresh's chart there, you can kind of see how effective he is in these situations.
The thing is, Mark, like, at his age, he's only going to get better over these next 5 years in Toronto. So it really getting him in his prime, and where he already has a 60-goal season under his belt, it's going to be scary to actually see what happens now when he actually, you know, hits his prime. Probably this season, I'd say we're probably see him another 60-goal season, if it's not this year, next year. Hopefully he can stay healthy, because, you know, all Leafs fans want to see that happen. But obviously, when you look at this, like, everybody thinks that Auston Matthews has an elite goal scorer, which he is, but he also can pass the puck as well. You know, when you have a 90% assist rate, through like 60 assists is pretty crazy. I think, is an easily a 100-point player. It's not just his goal scoring ability, but his like passing ability as well. And he's also becoming a better defender, like you mentioned. He's willing to lay the body. We've seen him getting a scrap a couple times. I think once he evolves, once he's evolving into like a gritty player, I think Matthews is just going to be unmatched. Obviously, I don't think he's going to get to a McDavid type player, because McDavid is just a once in a lifetime type player. But I don't think you're too far out of the realm with him being a top 3 player. I think he's definitely pushing it for sure. He's definitely knocking on that door, and I think this year he will break into that top 3 player in the league, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because like the biggest thing is when you look at a lot of these guys like McDavid, he's phenomenal. He's might be one of the best offensive players we've ever seen in our lives, or many people have seen in their lives. But when you look at Matthews, you kind of get the situation where you get the goal scoring, he can pass, he can play defense, he can win draws, and center is one of the most important positions in the game right now. So when you factor all these things in, it's just like I said, you look at the charts from JFresh and just anywhere around the league, it just shows how valuable this guy is, and just these bonuses, and you take those into effect if you ever wanted to move him. It just makes this an incredible contract.
Yeah, definitely. And exactly when I was going in there, I was expecting him to get probably 15 million. But for him to take like 2 million less than that and just get under a $2 million raise in salary is just huge for the organization, because now they can build for the future and build towards that Stanley Cup, which it probably will come in the next 5 years, especially if he keeps playing in the rate that he is. It's just a great contract for the team. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions on this, but I really do think that it's a great contract for the team, because he is getting a lot in bonuses, and I think that's kind of what pushed him to sign at a lower number, which is great for the team. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, no, I agree. When you look at it, this is a guy that could take 15, maybe a little more. But I think it's a situation where you see these guys, they're finally getting the groove in the playoffs. I know it was a bit of a tough loss last year with Florida, but they're starting to get the taste of it. And you're starting to see more of these players kind of buy into this team. That $2 million might not seem a lot, but an extra million on top of that, and that's Max Domi coming to the team. It's a situation where, you could get that 4th-line guy, even a 3rd-line guy that could really make or break your playoff run with that extra bit of money that Matthews did end up leaving on the table.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just huge, because when you have a deep lineup like I believe they do this year, with they have like 4 great centers going down the middle this year. Obviously, they got great defenders this year. They probably might upgrade a little bit before the season or at the deadline. We'll have to see what happens. But I think their decor is solid too. And like you said, now next year with this contract kicking in, I think is not out of the realm of possibilities that they can definitely get Nylander and Marner back and Tavares back, but still have room to sign these veteran presence guys on the 3rd and 4th line. But one thing you gotta also remember too is they have a great system. They got a lot of guys in the Marley system itching to get up for an NHL spot. And I think if it comes to the point where their cap is like low and they can't sign any of these 4th-line guys, I think they got a few guys, especially down in the Marlies, like Bobby McMahon, I believe his name is. I think he's great. I think he could definitely jump up into the NHL, no problem. They definitely got a few defenders down there that can jump up. We've seen that with them working Liljegren all the way up from the ECHL. So their development system is so good. So even if, they are running low on cap, they still got tons of guys down there that when they get up in the league, they're just going to light it up. So there's no need to panic, I don't think. I still think this is a great contract, but we're going to get into the cap percentages here now. And Mark, I just want to get your take on this and just explain what the cap percentages is to the people watching.
So when you look at this, you see like Matthews is at the 15% of the cap. So when he signs this initial contract, 15% of his cap is how much his total cap is towards the cap hits. So his 13 million is 15% of the total team cap. So a lot of people are saying, oh, he's the highest paid player. It's a situation where he's getting paid too much. But when you look through this list and you see a guy like Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and even Evgeny Malkin back when he signed, you can see these really comparable cap hits. So it's a situation where we see the league is just slowly evolving. The cap is going up. And even though Austin might be the highest paid player at this point, it's not in a ridiculous number due to when the cap slowly rises, these smaller contracts at one point were just a higher percentage as he is.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, with the cap rising, I believe too, I might be wrong here, but I think I might have seen it on Twitter earlier about, I think it's going up to about 85.7 million, I think. They're thinking about as the ballpark they're in. So obviously this cap percentage number is going to go down, you know, if that cap goes up. So it's only better for the Leafs in that situation because like we seen there, like I think McDavid's at like a 16.6% of the Edmonton Oilers cap, so and he's making less. So it's kind of crazy to see that he's making he's less than McDavid and he's making more money. But that's kind of crazy. But obviously, the future of this team is really bright. Obviously, going into this season. Mark, what do you just think about this overall contract? You know, now you're a day removed. I know you were buzzing yesterday. I'm sure you're still buzzing today. But well, like taking a step back and having time to sleep on it, what is your reaction to it now?
Honestly, I love it at this point. You know, when he if he took more term, I know everyone wanted this 6, 7, 8 year deal, but you get into the situation where if he signed the 6, 7 and went to the 8, he'd almost want a higher cap hit. So this almost gives the Leafs a bit more of a window to kind of like crunch a bit of numbers here. You know, 13 million is still a lot, but like I said, comparison where McDavid signed his 12 and a half, which was more of the cap than Matthews signed for at the time. You get into the situation where the cap slowly rises, so this number continues dropping. So Matthews' contract might only account for 10% of the cap in his third year. So that still gives you that extra 3%, like I said, to sign a third liner, a fourth liner, even a second liner, an impactful defenseman, or when it gets to the point of a backup goalie. So, in my opinion, you pay the guy, you keep him in Toronto. I think the cap hit's perfect. I think the length is perfect at the 4 to 5 year, and it kind of gives them this window of we have these 5 years. Let's prove that we win on this, and then let's extend everyone and keep them as Leaf forever.
Yeah, definitely, and I gotta agree with you there. Obviously, I think this the term length, like for me looking at it as from the outside as a Montreal fan, I think the length is perfect because you're getting this guy in the midst of his prime, and his contract ends when he's 30. So, you know, he's going to kind of be coming out of the prime, maybe still in there a bit. I'm sure he'll still be scoring 50 goals by the time he's 30. But we'll have to see what happens. But I just think this is such a great contract for Toronto. And I don't understand how people are saying that is bad because, like, when I look at it and I like, go through all these comments that we've seen yesterday on our video, it's like this contract is actually amazing. When you take a step back and really look into it like we did here today, I think this contract is going to be great. And I think over the next couple of years when the cap goes up, I think we're going to look back on it and be like, wow, this is such a great contract. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below and hit that subscribe button. We're really close to hitting 250 subscribers, so make sure to go down, smash that subscribe button, and let us know what you think about the Matthews contract. We loved going through your comments yesterday. Really opened our eyes a little bit on what some guys were thinking about it. So make sure to go down there and comment again. So I've been Casey alongside my co-host Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.